Third year, we're gonna smash this up. Can't wait to graduate, man. I'm tired. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have not done a sit down video in a long time. I've got a new room. There's a lot going on right now. I'm about to start third year. I'm gonna move in on Sunday. So again, the setup is gonna change. But today's video is my advice to freshers. It's gonna be a Q&A of uni related questions. We're gonna go into media. We're gonna go into how to make friends. We're gonna go into studying and working at the same time. There's a lot of stuff to cover. Just hope I do it justice. I put out a post on Twitter, Instagram, asked my cousin, various different people that are about to start uni, what they want to know, and here are a few questions that I got, and I hope I do them justice. So yeah, keep watching if you're gonna start uni. Firstly, good luck and well done for getting in, firstly. That's an achievement in itself. So yeah, and uni's fun, man. You're gonna have a good time. So let's go straight into the questions. Got my notebook here, and yeah. So question 1 was, how do you make friends? You need to make the effort, basically. I think that a lot of people, you might go to uni and you just want to stay in your room. You're like thinking, I don't know anybody. There's all these programs and all this thing on the schedule, but who am I going with? You better go and you'll make the friends once you're there. Like, don't worry about waiting for so-and-so to come. You go to these things, anything that catches your eye on like the freshers fair timetable or like just anything, you better get dressed, shower, do your thing, you go there and you'll find people, join societies. I know that's just typical, but it all kind of stems from there. You go to society, you join this, even if you don't like it, you meet so-and-so who also knows so-and-so, and it kind of just, it's like a spiral effect from there. Yeah, just be proactive in going out. Some people don't like going out, and that's just, that's not a bad thing. You'll go to your course, which is obviously compulsory. Once you're at your lecture, once you're in your seminar, you'll meet people. It kind of just happens. I don't think you should be so focused on like making friends. Like, gradually you'll start to know people. You go to the library, someone wants to borrow something, bam, you got a new friend. Like, it just happens like that. So yeah, do that, man. It's gonna be cool. And also, obviously not everyone goes to a campus uni. Sometimes you're in like a city place, or you're just commuting, and you know, I had friends like that, and yeah, just met them in my course. And then obviously you get put into groups for presentations and stuff like that. Suddenly you got a WhatsApp group, suddenly that's your new mate. So it just happens. Don't be worried about that. You'll definitely make friends. There's a person for everybody, literally. Question 2, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self? Oh, I would say you go, girl. I would say well done. Like, actually no, that's just what I'd say to her. Advice. To be honest, I don't think there's anything that I did wrong. I think I actually was very brave, in the sense that when I was 18, I started uni, didn't like what I was doing, and I thought, you know what, this media presenting thing is actually what I want to do. And I actually left and I actually started doing it. And I came back to uni and I've still made it all happen. So I would say to that girl, well done. And to any other 18-year-olds, if you're doing something and it's not quite right, or you're thinking, do you know what, that other thing that I do is more me, see if you've already gone to uni and you're like, okay, I want to do it, see if you can make them both work. It's 100% probably likely that you can. If you're not enjoying your course, we're going to get into that. But I would just say, yeah, if something doesn't feel right in what you're doing, like, it's now that you should make things work, because the earlier the better. The earlier you can like make the mistakes and, you know, work out what you want to do. It's really good, I think. Yeah. Question 3, how did you find a media job before graduating? I get this question a lot. And how did I find my media job? It was such a, it kind of just happened. Which is crazy, because obviously like media is quite a hard industry to get into. But what I did, I went to uni originally. There's a video on this, but I went to uni, I was doing history and Spanish, was not happy. I was like, no. I think I actually enjoy this media thing. Let me see what I can do. I worked at the Boiler Room for like a 2-day work experience type of thing. We ended up putting on an event at O2 Academy in Brixton. Then I was like, yeah, music, media, I'm into this. Want to find out more. Ended up doing a 6-month program with a charity called Media Trust, and the program was called London 360. Ended up making 3 documentaries for London Live and the Community Channel. Done that. Literally on Twitter I saw an advert for a BBC internship and I was like, why not? Like, this is kind of the route that I'm heading down now, so let me apply. And at the time, like, they didn't have any and still don't, they don't have any educational requirements, so yeah, you can literally do it off the bat. I think obviously having all the work experience that I was doing prior, that definitely helped. But yeah, you can get a media job before you graduate. Anything's possible. Question 4, how did you balance work and studying? Quite frankly, I didn't. Well, I did, because I've made it, but I got so ill last year due to a lot of things, but a lot of it was due to trying to balance working and studying. Obviously, not everybody, like some people might have a retail job, you might work once a week in your uni town, like that I recommend. But what I was doing was going to London back and forth 100% every week, but sometimes it was silly, like 2-3 times a week I was on that train, back and forth, either DJing, hosting something, actually doing work. So it's possible, but I think definitely prioritize your health. Obviously, your university is important. You're paying all that money for it. You need to pass. See, like with me, it was this close that I almost messed things up. But, you know, by the grace of God, we made it. Don't kill yourself. That is my main tip. I think that you can do it. I done it. It almost killed me, but it's possible. I think you should get as much work as you can while you're at uni, but also if you're not doing that, that's okay as well. I think there's room for your Easter holiday, your Christmas holiday, your summer holiday to get stuff under your belt, so don't think that you need to break your back. But obviously you want to live, you also need, like, it also costs money to live, so don't just think that you're going to sit back, because how are you going to pay for things? So yeah, you make it work. I think people think that like uni is just not as, it depends what you study, but my course particular isn't that demanding in terms of like contact hours, so you do have a lot of free time, so you can manage it. Prioritize your health, because you just don't want to get sick. Like that happened to me way too much, and then I ended up not doing much of the uni stuff, literally passing by the scrape of my teeth. And yeah, looking back on it, yes, of course it was worth it, but don't try and kill yourself. Just, you'll know how much you can do. Obviously, like, see how it goes and then change things if needs be. With me, I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. And it wasn't until I got very ill that I had to like step back. But just, yeah, you got this, man. You've got this. Question 5, how important is student media? I'm assuming they mean in terms of like how important is it in getting a job in the media. I think it is important. If you're not doing anything else, then 100%. You've literally got a whole studio, you've got radio, you can do print, you can do TV, like, well, that's at Kent anyway. You've got all of that for what? I think the membership, I can't remember. It's definitely not more than £20. You pay that once and then you've got access to Max, you've got Adobe, like all the Adobe software, you've got all of this, which people are obviously breaking their pockets to pay for once you graduate. So yeah, get started. There's literally, I don't get why you wouldn't, if that's what you would like to do. You literally have you can just decide that you're having a radio show. Once you're graduated, you know how hard it is to like get a show. So you start now, build up your network, build up your portfolio, build up your skills. I think it's great. Yeah, definitely important. And that's especially if you're not doing anything already. Having student media, it shows that you went above and beyond. You didn't just do your degree, you also got involved in other things. So it's definitely important. Oh, question 6. What's the hardest thing about moving away from home? I think for me, it was making sure that every aspect of my life was sorted. Once you're at uni, it's like, not only do you have to cook for yourself, it's got to be healthy, otherwise you'll get ill. You've also got to make sure that you're regularly stocked up. You've also got to make sure you don't run out of toilet paper. You've also got to make sure that your toilet's clean. You've also got to make sure that you go to uni on time. You've got to make sure that you do your work. You've got to make sure that your clothes are clean. You've got to make sure that your bedding's clean. You've got to make sure that your room's, like, there's a lot of things. This is just like moving out in general, but I think you underestimate it. Like, you go from being at home where a lot might be done for you, or like you've got help at home with other siblings that get to, like, someone might vacuum, someone might wash up, but once you're moved out and you're at uni, like, it's now all you, and if you don't do something, no one else is going to do it for you. It's all you. So I think that was the hardest thing for me. Question 7, what happens if I don't like my course? So this happened to me. Again, not the end of the world. I think once you first start, if you're in like your first week, 2 weeks, and you're like, not too sure, give it a bit longer. But I would go to your support for your course and find out when's the latest that you can change by, because you don't want to miss that because you're just waiting, and then you miss it. And then they're like, yeah, no, you can't change. Definitely find out when it is, and then hold off until that point, because, you know, there's no rush. You may end up liking it. For me, like, when I was in history and Spanish, the Spanish was really slow at the start. Like, we spent like 2 weeks on like the alphabet and numbers, and I was like, I already know this. So stuff like that are little things that could put you off, but, you know, give it a minute and it gets better. So I would just see, and also speak to your academic advisor, speak to like the student support, as I said, and yeah, they'll give you an idea of like where the course is heading, to see if like it's going to pick up, or if you're going to be interested in something different. Yeah, but yeah, definitely find out the date, because you don't want to miss it and then you're stuck. Question number 8, did you ever have any flatmate issues? I actually didn't, not at all. Like, in first year, in second year, well, I've done first year twice, but in this whole time, no, I've never had any issues at all. But if you did, I mean, communication is key for everything. If it's major, don't think you're stuck again. Like, there's always a way to sort things out. If you literally need to move accommodation, that's an option. You might be put on a waiting list for a while, but, you know, they're not just going to ignore you. Your uni shouldn't ignore you, especially if it's something quite drastic. But no, I never had issues personally. But obviously, that's not to say that no one ever has issues, of course. Like, be prepared to meet people that are completely opposite to you, and, you know, it's a big thing to just go and live with like 5 new people that you don't know. So you never know what could happen. But yeah, I think, you know what, everyone's adults by this time. Although everyone's maturity varies, you know, just keep it civil. I think have a WhatsApp group, know who's taking the bins out on what day. You know, if someone's slacking, do you just say, do you know what, you know, so-and-so's been taking the bins out a lot, can you please, like, da-da-da, like, just have a nice conversation. No one get rude to anyone. I think you'll be fine, man. Yeah, no one get rude to anyone. Yeah. Question 9, what's the nightlife like at Kent? Well, where do I begin? So there's a club on campus called Venue, and how do I phrase this? It's okay. That club is on, I feel like I don't even know. I think it's on every single day. Is it on every day? Oh my god, I hope I'm not giving out false information. Let me quickly Google it. Oh, okay. Whoa. Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Okay, that makes sense. Wednesdays are sports nights where if you're part of like a society or like a sports team, they'll have a theme, and then it's like filled with like the different sports people. So it's definitely open on Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday, that makes sense. The theme of the nights are a bit like not personally my cup of tea, but they're there, you know, do your thing. If that's what you like, go to it. I think a lot of people ask for like urban, quote unquote urban music. They have a night called NXT on Fridays. Again, not my type of thing, but it exists, you know, it caters to some people. But other than that, the ACS not put on, but they like collab with another promoter and they put on various different nights. They don't happen as often as like the venue events, and they're not in venue, they happen like in the clubs in town, but they happen I think like monthly ish, so you know, you do get some good nights. The venues are a bit but it's better than nothing. It's much better than other places, so you know, I think you just make the most of it. They're not that often. If you want a bit of a party, go. There's also Chemistry, which is in the town as well. I've personally never been, but there's options, you know. Get talking to people, they'll tell you about events. You can also go to like Medway sides, them sides. I think I've been once, and it was actually okay. Like Tim Westwood, Kenny All-Star, Afro B, like them sort of people come down a lot. So yeah, I mean, there's always something. Some events happen more often than other types of events, if you know what I'm saying, but there's something for everyone at a time. So yeah, the nightlife is okay. I'd rate it like, ooh, it's like a 5-6 out of 10 overall in terms of like how frequent it is, music wise, venue wise, everything like that. I'll give it like 5-6. So yeah, it's not like a 2. If there was a 2, then we'd have a problem. Question 10. What's Kent like in terms of diversity? A lot of people ask this, like in previous videos. I've got like so many emails about like, will I be the only black person on my course? Like all of these type of questions. And I think some people forget that as ethnic minorities, like the key word is minority, and we're in the UK going to be the minority, like at all times. So just because there's less of us anyway, so don't go to any uni and expect to be like so many black people or so many people of colour and stuff like that, because we're always going to be less of the population, because that's just what it is. But Kent in particular, as I said, there's always going to be less, but there is still a presence, so I don't feel completely lost. I definitely know that there's, like, for example, in my seminars, I'm probably always like the only person of colour, but I think it's just something that I've kind of gotten used to in life, and I don't really feel a type of way about it. It's just what it is. I don't feel like really secluded or isolated, or like I can't relate to anyone. I find Kent quite friendly, to be honest. Question 11. How did you fit in sports and or the gym? I feel like at uni, you either gain weight or lose weight. I think mine fluctuated. Like, I think when I first went, I came home skinny, and then it just things just changed, like whatever. But I do think sports wise, if you play sports at home, I recommend that you like carry it on, because you take it for granted. Like, obviously you're playing all the time back at home, and you go uni and stop, and then you actually look at yourself and you're like, whoa, like I actually look different, and you realise that, wow, like I actually need to be consistent with my sport. So carry on. Like, I played netball at home, and then I carried it on and played it at uni, so that was good. And then the gym, I think it was a bit harder to be committed to, especially because of like the distance sometimes, and yeah, not everything's on your doorstep. So yeah, if you can do a society sport, then that'll be really good. And then yeah, again, for example, like netball, we trained twice a week and had a match once a week, or every other week. Yeah, I think it's once a week, which is totally able to fit in. A lot of subjects, they have like no lesson will be after a certain time on a Wednesday, because that's known to be like sports day, and our matches were on that day, so we never, nothing ever really clashed. Although in the second year I had a few clashes, but you know, we got through that. But yeah, no, and training is like in the evening or like first thing in the morning, very early. So yeah, nothing really clashes, and if it does clash, like they're understanding, and you get to like dip out and go to your seminar or whatever it is you had. So you can definitely fit it in. The last question is, question 12, where do you get your hair products from? Girl, I don't even go to shop. Well, no, I do. Back home I do. But Amazon, like, there's no, you get everything ordered, it's fine. Like, this is 2019. Yeah, and if you don't want to do online things, yeah, just stock up, pack, and yeah, when it runs out, off you go back home and get your stuff. But no, I think the easiest, most convenient option is Amazon. They pretty much have all our products, so yeah. And also, to be honest, nowadays, like, Boots and Superdrug have like Cantu and Sheer Moisture and stuff like that, so there's always a way, man. There's always a way. But online is definitely the easiest way. Cool. So yeah, that is the Q&A. They're the questions I got asked. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take away something from it. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be moving in on Sunday. So next week's video is going to be my move-in. And if I unpack my things smoothly, it'll be like a room tour and stuff like that. I hope you enjoy. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.